May there be friends out there to help us, as there have been these past years. Keep us human, compassionate, just, true. At this commencement hour, we begin with you in our lives with prayer. If we fall on our knees before you, we shall be strong. If we walk away from you, we shall be sick of life. So all of us wonder what the world will be like for the graduates, whether it will be war or peace, want or prosperity, waste or productivity. Oh God, we want for them a life filled with happiness and health, justice and mercy, acceptance and achievement. Tonight, make us grateful for the graduates, for all the potentials in new beginnings, for progress in new ideas, for possibilities in a new generation. And as we go forth, hold us by your wisdom, O Lord, our Redeemer and God. Amen.
I was told once there are three types of people: those who go out and make things happen, those who just watch what is happening, and those who wander aimlessly around, scratch their heads and say, "What's happening?" I often ask myself if in fact there are three different people, or if they are one and the same. All of us know of experiences which at one time or another have put us in the driver's seat of all three types. We can all remember when we turned 16 and really wanted to be in the driver's seat and make things happen by receiving our driver's license. For some of us, this proved to be an easy task. Others, well, we tried and tried and tried, and finally, we made it happen. Then there are times when we want to change gears and support others who can make it happen. On a personal note, I found this to be the easiest. Without a doubt, I'm the most emphatically devoted fan of the mathematics department. I steered clear of this challenge, but cheered for those who could make those little numbers happen. Then, I too decided to take a challenge. Like most of you, I participated in chemistry. This is when I soon discovered that I could also portray the third person and truly mean it when I scratched my head and said, "What's happening?" The challenge is not to sit and watch what is happening or to wonder what's happening, but to take the road not often traveled and make things happen. One of America's favorite poets, Robert Frost, hands us the challenge to accept our futures and make things happen. In A Road Not Taken, he states, "Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth." For some of us, we will be choosing paths such as further education, serving our country through military services, serving our community by prospering in the workforce, or by starting families of our own. Through all these choices, we will experience the trials and tribulations of all three types of people. We will become the positive, the supporters, and the unsure. There will come the time when we will find ourselves at these crossroads. When we reach these crossroads, we will have to make a decision of which road to travel. Throughout our lives, the decisions will be many, and sometimes the choice of which road to travel will be easy, while at other times it will lie in the doubtful path. When reaching this difficult and untraveled road, we will then reflect on our knowledge obtained both through our formal learning of education and of our daily experiences. McCaskey has offered us this knowledge not only through an academic perspective, but through our social adaptation that has enabled us to choose the difficult, untraveled path which will lead us to accomplishment. Accomplishment and success will not come easy at times. For some, our decisions to choose the green, grassy, pleasant pathway will be only a mirage for success, ending in failure. True, the other road still remains for us to make another decision, but by completing the difficult, untraveled road, we will find our pathway to success. We, the graduating class of J.P. McCaskey, will persevere and succeed on the untraveled road. Through trial and error, we will make many decisions, but we will finally find our pathway to success. Although the worn path will offer us more security, we will take the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. As for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
In a time which is perhaps too often dominated by quantity instead of quality or excellence, in a society which perhaps too easily judges more as being better, I believe it is uplifting to be able to recognize those among us who do strive for, attain, and maintain standards of excellence. This evening, I'm proud to introduce to you a young lady who has done just that. On a daily basis, for 3 years, she has striven for, she has attained, and maintained the straight A academic average, the highest academic standard of excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in recognizing with respect the honor student for the class of 1987, Wendy Buckwalter.
Members of the Board of Education, Dr. Walker, Mr. Seifert, faculty, parents, relatives, and friends of the graduating class of 1987. Representing the Rotary Club of Lancaster, I am happy to have the privilege of presenting the Dr. Harvey A. Smith Award. For many years, Dr. Smith was superintendent of the Lancaster City School District, in which he served with distinction until his death. Dr. Smith was president of the Rotary Club of Lancaster in 1952 and 53. Over 20 years ago, an anonymous donor contributed a liberal sum of money to the Rotary Club of Lancaster to establish the Dr. Harvey A. Smith Memorial Fund. The income from this fund makes possible the yearly Dr. Harvey A. Smith Award to a member of the graduating class of the J.P. McCaskey High School. Provisions of the trust state that the recipient of the award shall be selected by the senior class and the faculty. It is further stated that the controlling considerations in the selection of the student are to be those qualities of selfless service to the school community and its students, which Dr. Smith demonstrated to the civic community and its citizens. These qualities, incidentally, coincide with the ideals of Rotary and the Rotary motto, service above self. Therefore, the award has a twofold purpose. One, to recognize the student outstanding in qualities similar to those demonstrated by Dr. Smith, and two, to help perpetuate Dr. Smith's name as one of Lancaster's distinguished educators. The student selected for this year's award is Trenton S. Seals. It is an honor for me as a representative of the Rotary Club of Lancaster to present to you the Harvey A. Smith Award for 1987. And I would like to read it, Trenton. Presented this 10th day of June 1987 by the Rotary Club of Lancaster to Trenton S. Seals, who, in the opinion of his fellow classmates and the faculty of J.P. McCaskey High School, best exemplifies selfless service to the school community and its students, high standards of conduct, and pride in being part of the high school. Besides this certificate, I would like to present to you, Trenton, a check for $500.
I'm privileged to present the Clarence M. Ebersole Memorial Award. This award honors the memory of Mr. Clarence Ebersole, who was for many years a teacher of social studies at McCaskey and later a chairman of the department. Upon his death in 1966, his family instituted this award. In 1986, the award was continued by a generous, anonymous benefactor in the McCaskey community. It is presented annually to a graduating senior student who has done outstanding work in social studies during their high school career and who exemplifies the high standards of courtesy, character, and citizenship which Mr. Ebersole tried to instill in all of his students. The recipient of this award is selected by the McCaskey Social Studies faculty. I would like to call David Brown to the podium, please. The official language, the Clarence M. Ebersole Memorial Award presented to David B. Brown for outstanding achievement in social studies and exemplary standards of character and citizenship. This 10th day of June 1987, and along with the certificate, David, a check for $150. Congratulations.
A few years ago, I bought a blank book with the intention of recording the quotations, poems, and passages I had over the years scribbled on scraps of paper only to later lose. I had selected some because they are inspirational, some make me think, and still others seem particularly relevant to my own life. This day of our graduation brings many of these selections to mind. To me, the most pertinent is the motto of the Children's Defense Fund, an advocacy organization for the rights of children. Its slogan is, "Dear Lord, be good to me. The sea is so wide and my boat is so small." As I look at my graduating class, I see 405 students who for the past 3 years have studied, learned, and worked together as one body. But after tonight's ceremony, we will be 405 individuals living separate lives among the more than 5 billion people in our world. We will each be a very small boat in a very wide sea. While this is a scary feeling, by no means should we choose to remain within the protective environment McCaskey and our families have provided for us. We have been given the background from which we are now able to step forward. I remember being told in elementary school that this was to prepare us for junior high, and junior high for high school. I always wondered, then when do we actually live? Well, I guess this is it, and only with the proper preparation can we now be ready for this step. But McCaskey has done much more than prepare us academically. Inside McCaskey, there's the flexibility for its students to choose how to spend their 3 years. McCaskey's varied curriculum allows students to choose the courses that they find interesting. The cultural diversity of the student body makes it possible for students to meet and become friends with people of all different backgrounds. The many extracurricular activities permit students to become involved in fields of interest, including sports, the arts, business, or many other fields. Here we learn not only the skills needed for this activity, but the skills needed to work in a group, and possibly to lead this group. This is all under the leadership of a caring and dedicated staff. While McCaskey has given us each a great deal in the past 3 years, there is simply too much to see, and more importantly, to experience in our world to choose not to venture outward. Only by taking steps forward do we have a chance to grow. A person who chooses never to take risks not only protects himself from defeat, but also makes successes impossible. Furthermore, if a person chooses never to take risks, he's allowing life to happen to him instead of creating his own life. It was once said, we cannot banish dangers, but we can banish fears. Many people choose to take the safe route, watching life go by, instead of taking advantage of all the opportunities that exist in our world. While we all fear dangers, it is only by conquering these fears and accepting the dangers that we have a chance to reach greater heights. We each have a different future ahead of us. Whether entering the workforce or the armed forces or continuing our education is the future, we need to examine ourselves and our goals so that we can achieve all that we desire. Whether one's goals include having a strong family, progressing far in one's occupation, earning great amounts of money, traveling far, helping others, or fulfilling many other dreams, it is only through hard work and control over one's life that this is possible. We, the graduating class of 1987, have been properly prepared. It is now up to us to take on this responsibility. This year in English class, I read and studied the book Damien by Hermann Hesse. Damien is about a young boy as he undergoes the maturing process. The following is a passage from this book. The impetus that makes you fly is our great human possession. Everybody has it. It is the feeling of being linked with the roots of power. But one soon becomes afraid of this feeling. It's damn dangerous. That is why most people shed their wings and prefer to walk and obey the law. But not you. You go on flying. And look, you discover that you gradually master your flight. That, to the great general force that tears you upward, is added a delicate, small force of your own, an organ, a steering mechanism. So this is what I wish for each of you, the carefree nature of youth that makes you want to fly, and the maturity of adulthood that makes you take control. For without this control, you will surely crash, and without the carefreeness, you are likely to settle for the safe. I wish you each a long and fulfilling flight, reaching the height of your dreams.
In the spring of 1975, a group of McCaskey teachers, believing that recognition of the graduating senior girl who had distinguished herself in the study of English was long overdue, began deliberations to inaugurate a companion award to the John Pearsall McCaskey Award for Excellence in English. The committee deemed it proper to name the New Girls Award in honor of a woman who had herself exemplified and inspired excellence in English as a teacher in the schools of Lancaster for 40 years. The esteem in which Catherine Buckwalter was and is held by her friends, her former colleagues, and her former students is ample evidence that excellence in English be synonymous with the example and encouragement of Catherine Buckwalter. Thus, it gives me great pleasure to present, for extraordinary proficiency in the use of the English language and extraordinary understanding of and appreciation of literature, the 12th Annual Catherine M. Buckwalter Award to Jillian A. Gottlieb. The John Pearsall McCaskey Award, now in its 27th year, resulted from the merger of two earlier awards, one established in 1926 in honor of Dr. McCaskey's 89th birthday, and the other in 1940 to coincide with the dedication of the new McCaskey High School. The inaugurators of both awards were groups of former students of Dr. McCaskey. Their aims were to perpetuate the influence Dr. McCaskey had on the education of the young men of Lancaster and to encourage among male students of J.P. McCaskey High School a proficiency in the study of American and English literature and language. And so, since 1961, when the two awards were combined, we have honored annually a graduating senior boy with the John Pearsall McCaskey Award for Excellence in English. It gives me great pleasure to present this prestigious award to Richard A. Hogue.
The Hall of Honor Award was inspired by the outstanding class of McCaskey High School, class of 1979. Since that time, it has become established as our most prestigious award. The award is presented annually by the faculty of McCaskey High School, who nominate candidates for consideration. A committee of the staff then reviews very carefully the credentials of each of the students who have been nominated. The criteria used to select the recipient include scholarship, service, extracurricular activities, personality, and good citizenship. The 1987 recipients' achievements and personal characteristics are appropriately representative of that class of 1979. Academically gifted, artistically and athletically talented, always involved, always willing to help and to serve, a recognized and accepted leader, a very positive influence in McCaskey High School. In addition to receiving a certificate of recognition, this year's recipient will have her portrait mounted in McCaskey High School's Hall of Honor this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in recognizing with affection a truly fine young lady, the class of 1987's Hall of Honor recipient, Wendy Buckwalter.
was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. What lies before us is all a matter of perspective. The view one takes of an object or a scene. But perspective in a broader sense also means insight, perceptions, and outlook. What we see is what we choose to see, based on our point of reference and personal interpretations. No two of us see the same future, just as no two of us have had the same past. Our perspective is altered by each experience we have. Thus, it is up to each individual to discover exactly what lies before him. Charles Dickens' words in A Tale of Two Cities are true of life in general, as well as true of our experiences here at McCaskey. These years have been both the best and the worst, and I'm sure almost any senior on this stage tonight will vouch for that. But our experiences here, all the classes we've taken, and all the people we've met have affected us. Our outlooks have changed drastically since we first stepped through these doors in September of our sophomore year. Simply being a student at McCaskey has affected us. Because our school is such a diverse cultural, economic, and social mix, we as students have had the chance to learn things that students in other schools certainly have not had the opportunity to learn. We have learned how to relate to other people, how to adjust ourselves to allow other people to enter into our lives. Through this, we have learned to look deeper into a person we may not yet know in order to see that person as he really is. In our society today, where so many people close themselves off to others, we have gained the insight to look beyond the walls they have built. We have learned, I hope, that while the people around us may be of a different color or a different religion or live in a different part of town, that we are all equal. Thus, McCaskey has changed our perspective about one another. We no longer see different people as the enemy. Instead, we see them as a potential ally. An important example of our cultural perspective is the large number of members of the AFS Club. This year, on AFS Day, 300 students represented 12 nations. As participants in this organization, these students have shown that they are truly interested in other cultures, and McCaskey has spawned that interest. The insight we have gained on meeting new people will help us greatly as we leave this stage tonight as graduates of J.P. McCaskey High School. No longer are we sheltered by this closed environment, because while we have been exposed to other cultures through AFS and the school's methods of organization, we have also been required to get along or be subject to a trip to Buddy's office and a 10-day suspension. Many of our teachers have ensured our understanding of classroom material, and some have gone out of their way to make our years here as enjoyable as possible. But now, we must look beyond our friends and families, and the changes in perspective that McCaskey has given us will help us greatly. We leave here tonight able to look at things in a new way, a way in which many other people in the world today cannot. If we, as graduates of McCaskey, are able to view world situations as a whole, then perhaps we can help take a first step in achieving peace. If we can respect others' rights and accept them for their differences, then the experience we have gained at McCaskey goes far beyond its walls. If, however, we are narrow-minded and naive, only seeing the rest of the world as distant problems or someone else's plight, then we have failed to learn what McCaskey has offered to teach us. McCaskey has offered us a way to become whatever it is we choose to become. It has opened many doors for us, allowing us to direct our own futures. Many of us have definite plans for college, work, family life, or military service, while some of us are still undecided about what we are going to do. but our experiences here have given us a strong base, one upon which we can build as we grow older. As we look back on our years here, may we remember that it has always been a matter of perspective, and it always will be. Our experiences here make Dickens' words in A Tale of Two Cities ring true. These have been the best of times. We are now wise. We now believe. We now have hope. And with the proper perspective, we do have everything before us.
McCaskey class of 1987, parents, friends, J.P. McCaskey faculty members and administration, Mr. Seifert, fellow board members, and Dr. Walker. We are here tonight to celebrate the completion of 13 years of education. We are also here to celebrate your accomplishments, but even more significantly, we are here to celebrate the most important decision that you have ever made. You have traversed your school years aided by friends, parents, and many, many teachers. They have supported you, advised you, and encouraged you. But it was that most important decision that you made that has brought you here tonight. You made the conscious decision to learn. And even if you haven't discovered it yet, you will spend the rest of your life learning. Some of you will leave here tonight to pursue higher education in college, trade schools, technical schools, and junior colleges. Some of you will be entering the military service, and the rest of you will be joining the job force. This motivation to learn will push you down the road to accomplishment, and a sense of pride will accompany you all your life. Your education won't end here tonight. This is only a significant pause in your journey, a long journey that will lead you many, many places. I wish you well. Hard work and the pursuit of happiness go hand in hand. Good luck to you in your future endeavors, whatever they are. Thank you.
I will be addressing the class one last time before I present them for their diplomas. First, if I could please, I'd like to take a moment to recognize some other people who are on the stage with them this evening, the faculty of J.P. McCaskey High School. These are the men and women who, for the 3 years these students have been here, have given more than just an understanding of content, have given more than just their insights. They've actually given them their care, their personal understanding, and their love. They also have committed themselves to helping them grow and become worthy young ladies and gentlemen that we're all very proud of this evening. I'm incidentally very proud to be one of them, and I think we as a community of Lancaster should feel fortunate to have such a competent and caring staff as the faculty of J.P. McCaskey High School. I'd like them to rise, please. Because of the many meanings and feelings it conveys, and because I believe they may relate to you in differing ways, I'd like to read to you a letter that was not written to me personally, but it was written to one of our teachers who shared it with me. It was written by one of your classmates, a girl who has been in our school for 2 years, a girl who's been in our country for only 2 years. During the 2 years working hard in this school, no time could give me more souvenirs, peaceful time, and lovely feelings than our recent Williamsburg trip. If I am a writer, I will use my pen to describe the true voice of our pure soul, the soul of the refugee students of McCaskey. This trip is a mark in my lifetime which helps me remember my first hesitated steps into this school, which was unfamiliar first, then is becoming so friendly. Oh, how I can describe the warm thoughts which are dancing in my young mind. I say to myself how I'm thankful to the American government, a government of peace, which was and is trying to make up for all the sufferings of my people and is giving to our youngsters the definition of fairness and the love of the school-age children. And I can't either describe how much I miss my old school and my old friends that are at the opposite side of the Pacific Ocean. My heart is so painful when I think about the old days when we were going to camping, chatting with each other like we do now. Observing the happy faces of my new friends, I thank God for wiping out the pain of our youngsters during their trips to freedom. Laugh and talk are endless now, and no other happiness can be equal to ours when we are like the birds deploying their wings in a clear sky, breathing the air of freedom of the universe. Vietnam, our country, is crying for more than 4,000 years. Our youngsters are with its insecure destiny and with its sufferings, and are very limited in happiness. Love of the family is like a river's course through a bridge, leaving us alone on its sides. But at the moment we were on the bus, we seemed to forget all of our misfortune. We forgot the unlucky past of our yellow people. We only knew that we were having Mrs. V, a respected mother of the group of stubborn students like us. I know we can't bring the past to the present, but I think that the present will make up for our past. This trip is so meaningful to me. The idea of freedom that the American people struggle for from the very first days of this country, the idea of love that I found from my friends of different races and different languages, the idea of care for others. I hope that someday I can return to my homeland to see my old teachers and my old friends in a happy atmosphere, to bring back alive our old time and to tell them all about strange and amazing things of this strong and modern American society. 2 years passed so fast. I am no longer afraid of this huge school. I no longer feel that the hallways are so long. Everything seems now so friendly and so familiar to me. Farewell to a place which gives me love during my angelic age. I have nothing to give to my teachers and friends but my affection to this school, to these classrooms. Thank you for the trip. Thank you for the loving time. I'm leaving, but those memories are always alive inside of me. When I first read this letter, I was of course touched by many of its expressions. In particular, I found several meanings to the idea of freedom, specifically as it was related to the flight of a bird. One, for example, like Jonathan Livingston Seagull, who also forced to leave his flock, sought and found freedom. Freedom from within, freedom to be himself through his joy and his skill of flying. The course that you will take now, in some ways similar to leaving your home or your flock, will be a hesitant one also. But within you, just as within the refugee child, just as within the outcast bird, is an unlimited idea or potential for freedom, freedom to be what you want to be what you can be. Our school is finished now. You choose your next school, world, based on what you have learned in this one. You have had your first taste of the greatest richness of life, being able to know, to understand, and to value human diversity as you have found it here at McCaskey. Don't be hesitant to believe in the glory of flight that awaits you, like the refugee leaving home or the bird seeking freedom through flight. Open your eyes and see that in you is the truth of an idea, an unlimited idea of freedom and personal fulfillment. You will be taking what you learned here at McCaskey on a test flight of sorts. You will have moments of doubt and perhaps fear as you leave your home or as you leave the secure surroundings of McCaskey High School, but you will continue to learn, to discover, and to understand yourself and others even better than you do now. You will learn to deploy your wings and experience the freedom that you will feel inside of yourself when you do succeed, and you will. When your hallways no more are so long, when you fly as you do in your dreams. And as you leave here and begin again, I also hope that you realize what you have given to this school. The affection that the young lady who wrote the letter referred to was, and I quote her again, found from my friends of different races and different languages, the idea and care for others. You are part of this wonderful uniqueness of McCaskey, accepting of and caring for everyone. No more could ever be expected, and no more could ever be given. I hope you leave as she leaves, with similar memories and similar dreams of flight. Dr. Walker? Tonight's commencement will be the final commencement for Dr. Charles R. Walker. Dr. Walker has served as our superintendent for 13 years. 13 years of serving, caring, and of leading. In fact, under his leadership, our school district of Lancaster has become itself a leader and has become recognized as one of the finest school districts in the state. We at McCaskey greatly respect the influence that Dr. Walker has had on us and equally appreciate the support that he has given to us. Quite simply, we would not have many of the fine programs that we do have if it would not be for him. Most importantly, though, I believe we appreciate the genuine caring that Dr. Walker has had for our students. As a parent of 3 children who attended McCaskey and also as our superintendent, Dr. Walker was always in the stands, he was always in this auditorium. He was at recognition and award programs that were initiated under his direction. Once a month for 13 years, Dr. Walker had lunch in the cafeteria with McCaskey students. He has dedicated himself to see our students learn and perform and to be successful. Beyond the respect that we have for him and his leadership, the leadership that he's provided not only for us in McCaskey but for the school district, we do greatly appreciate his constant commitment and dedication to us here at McCaskey. I can think of no more appropriate means to recognize him than to make him an honorary graduate of McCaskey High School.
That was very, very nice.
Over the years, he has given others many gold passes. I think it is also appropriate that we present to Dr. Walker a gold pass to assure his admittance to all future McCaskey events. And finally, the McCaskey Red Rose. Try to. Taught me how, but I don't know.
Thank you very much.
It is my hope that that rose remains for the remainder of the evening. Dr. Walker, by unanimous vote of the faculty of John Pearsall McCaskey High School, the 390 members of the senior class are recommended to become the 53rd class to be graduated in the 49-year history of the school. With great admiration, earned respect, and a deep affection, I present to you Dr. Walker, the class of 1987.
Mr. Seifert, platform guest, class of 1987, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special and significant evening for each senior. And what beautiful addresses, meaningful and so well articulated, we heard from our student speakers tonight. Could you join me again in recognizing Pamela and Andrea and Amy? This has been a nostalgic couple of weeks for me as I conclude my final month as superintendent. Earlier this week, I had the pleasure of addressing as their speaker the graduates of the 6th grade from Buchanan Elementary School. They will be part of the class of 1993 here at McCaskey. And last week, I participated in a ceremony of a group of our, what we call our K1 children. These are our 4-year-olds. They were graduating from the 4-year-old program to kindergarten. They will be part of the class of the year 2000. And this, of course, tonight is the 13th graduation that I have participated in. When we came to Lancaster 13 years ago, our younger son, Mark, was a kindergarten student at the Elizabeth Martin Elementary School. And I will have the pleasure tonight of presenting him with his high school diploma. I have had the opportunity to know this senior class and also to share a part of their lives as teenagers. I have seen them in action in the classroom, in co-curricular activities. They have been in our home day and night. I might add all hours of the night. And just last Sunday, a group of them matched their wits against a group of adults in trivial pursuits. And I might add that they, the students, fared very well. Just last Saturday, a week ago, my wife and I had the opportunity and pleasure of seeing over 400 students attend the senior prom, beautifully attired in gowns and tuxedos. And this past Thursday evening, I saw over 200 of our seniors honored for their accomplishments at the Senior Honors Banquet. I want to share with you some interesting data concerning this class as they make their plans for the future. About 50% of them are planning to continue their education in some formal manner. About 12% of the class already have full-time jobs. About 20% of the seniors are in the process of looking for work. Another 10% are planning to join the armed forces, and there are a few who just have not yet made any definite plans. Finally, on a more personal note, my wife and I have experienced our daughter and our 2 sons going through McCaskey and receiving their high school diplomas. It's one perspective when you see our high school when you are the superintendent. It's another perspective when you see our high school when you're the father of 3 students going through that high school. It makes me feel extremely proud when those perspectives are in concert. And it gives me a wonderful feeling about the staff at McCaskey and the education our young people are receiving. Seniors, all of you, your parents, your teachers, and your friends are extremely proud of you. You each have a foundation upon which to build. I congratulate you and wish you continued success. Okay.
The marshals will now present the class according to previous instructions. Assisting me this evening in the presentation of the diplomas will be Lynn Williams, a guidance counselor at McCaskey, and our house principals, Buddy Glover, Rosalie Morales, and Ron Rill. Melissa L. Farrell. Trinda L. Zemer. Beth Rachel Edelman. Min and Lay. Tanya Denise Potts. Tina Marie Brooks. Loida I. Perales. Shireen Sarika Babel. Kimberly Marie Floyd. Tina M. Haynes. Lisa Marie Howes. Maria de Los Angeles Yenis. Trong En Wen. Chao T. Lei. Kimberly Ann Ackerman, class historian. Mai T. Tron. Margarita Ortega. Tron C. Nguyen. Ilka Yvette Colon. Estrelita Vasquez. Amy M. Kehoe. Barbara Ann Lebatius. Mi Yung Lei. Raquel L. Robinson. Laura Rodriguez. Laki T. Nguyen. Cheryl Lynn Zook. Tracy Zook. Travis Catherine Bash. Diane L. Brenneman. Joanne M. Brenneman. Teresa G. McMullen. Stephanie M. Cook. Hoa Hu. Michelle L. Gramboy. Tina M. Groff. Rosemarie Neater. Anne Dorothea Weston. Regina Johnson. Summerly J. Casher. Tu Swan Lee. Nancy Lozano. Sarah E. Martin. Angela Marie McClung. Shelby E. Moe. Letitia Rivera. Elaine J. Sotic. Melissa Michelle Travis. Michelle Kathleen Bryan. Sarah B. Berkeley. Dawn M. Knott. Maritza Z. Negron. Tanya A. Axe. Kathleen Ann Freeman. Carmen Ivy Frontinez. Dawn L. Geiter. Frances Marie Kilgore. Carrie Elson Gonzalez. Jody Lee Harrison. Deborah A. Holder. Tammy W. Kirkner. Virginia J. Lewis. Wendy Buckwalter. Ian T. Schaefer. Edna Graham, Veronica L. Galloway, Evelyn David, Catherine R. Beam, Tamika Ann Baxter, Jeanette Alvarez, Sonia N. Pabon, Diane L. Geiter, Tracy E. Wood, Class Secretary, Roxanne Marie Wagner, Kathy Jo Nixdorf Timmons, Katrina M. Vanoy, Kedonia M. Papademetrio, the Class Treasurer, Lois Elizabeth Rank, Carmen Delia Medina, Alice Rose McDevitt, Lucita L. Crespo, Lori A. Burke, Cynthia L. Bateman, Lori Ann Riker, Charlene Leigh No, Janet Morales, Shantae R. Brown, Thomas O. Romanos, Lisa M. Merker, Dina Marie Birch, Victoria L. Burns, Tina Lynn Rudder, Kathleen M. Schrader, Kelly R. Stowe, Vanessa B. Veda, Valerie Jane Border, Barbara J. Groff, Gwen G. Briggs, Rebecca Hall, Jillian A. Gottlieb, Tammy S. Lang, Krista Lynn May, Jennifer Kristen Mayberry, Lisa M. McCardle, Pamela A. Stauffer, Darlene Santiago, Elizabeth Rutherford, Stacy Lynn Rhodes, Linda K. Reynolds, Alma Delise Ramos, Blanca Yvette Quinones, William John Schraebler Jr., Scott M. Arment, Hector Luis Sarita Jr., Daniel L. McFalls Jr., Amos LaRue, Michael G. Mexcalis, B. Kenneth Wiggins, Mark T. Walker, Jeffrey K. Shepler, Sean C. Rao, Dixon Pizarro, Anthony Patrick Magulio, Stephanie A. Lee, Jenny Vargas, Tracy L. Wattell, Alicia S. Gunzenhauser, Susan E. McMurtry, Lynn R. Nolan. Iris Myra Ayala. Monica M. Elbert. Jamie Lee Ellis. Tina M. Gardner. Lori A. Bendra. William S. Glover. Donald Scott Eshelman. John Carl Gustafson II. Brian Douglas Gantz. Daniel L. Emery. Martin U. Christensen. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin. I'd like to introduce to you this evening the first of our foreign exchange students. Martin is a representative of Sweden, and he has been staying with us this year on behalf of the American Scandinavian Student Exchange Program. He has been the guest of Dr. Robert and Barbara Matthews. I would like to give special recognition tonight to Martin as well as all of our exchange students by presenting to them a certificate of appreciation, which reads, Certificate of Appreciation issued to Martin U. Christensen of Sweden for promoting international understanding and goodwill as a foreign exchange student at the John Pearsall McCaskey High School, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, United States of America. I'd also like to present Martin with a flag that was flown over our nation's capital and also a volume of the Heritage of Lancaster, which has been very graciously inscribed by its author, John Ward Luce. I hope you enjoy it and the memories that it brings you of our county. All of the exchange students will be receiving the same awards this evening. Martin, thank you very much. Christopher Corello. Stephen Morgan. James M. Glessner. Russell J. McDonald II. Romont A. Jones. Richard A. Hogue. Julie Lynn Felker. Nina D. Jordan. Blondina A. Field. Ladies and gentlemen, Blondina is the second of our 4 exchange students. Blondina is an exchange student this year from our neighboring country of Mexico. She spent the year with the Robert and Terry Field family. Blondina, it's been a pleasure to have you. Good luck to you. Leslie E. Dormer. Linda Jeanette Butts. Kelly Ann Smith. Pauline Agnes Murray. Brenda L. Miller. Elizabeth K. Miller. Jennifer Lynn Janitis. Lori L. Wertz. Timothy E. Womack. Jose L. Diaz. Michael L. Sheehy. Mike. Timothy A. Sullivan. Robert W. Charles. Leonard B. Boynes. Isaiah Wallace. Peter J. Bosey. Kevin D. Schaefer. Stephen E. Schwanger. Kenneth L. Melton. Michael S. Hinkle. Carrie E. Headley. Jesse M. Bowman. David A. Albright. Thomas C. Shufflebottom. Sean A. Hyson. Vincent B. Diaz. Eduardo Colon. Willie L. Kane Jr. Tyson Russell Bear. Michael A. Inshetsky. John H. Weichel. Thomas C. Sotic. Joyce L. Monroe. Juan Trin. Robert G. Minnick. Ray Javier Ortiz. Tinvi Bond. Brian James Rosenthal. Jeffrey E. Chandler. Noel T. Dow. Lawrence L. Hill. John A. Biskine. Luis M. Mendoza. Caleb B. Dominguez. Ricardo LeBron. Bruce B. Lindemuth. Zhang Si Tran. Bora Singh. Jonathan Huber Richard. Michael Scott Ruth. Jeffrey Scott Berg. Terry D. Grube. Larry E. Long, Jr. Donald E. Margolis. Michael L. Heaps. Patrick J. Redmond. Craig A. Reef. Hector Sanchez. David Carollo. Kevin A. Alicia. Louis Richard Saunders. Carolus Oliveira Valentin. Neil A. Winterbelt. Chris Eric Campbell. Luis Antonio Hernandez. Anthony Darnell Jones. Bradley S. Lockoff. David N. Melito. Jeffrey M. Miller. K.P. Pham. Todd E. Fulgenetti. Jeffrey Lee Schreiner. Martwain Tyler. James Adams Jr. Wilfredo Arroyo. Peter Eugene Ford. Bruce E. Gunther. Preston C. LaRue. Hung Si Lu. Johnny Morales. Michael D. Neely. Melvin Albert. Sean T. Rydell. Ramon Rodriguez. Daniel M. Trauger. Brian S. Randall. Trenton S. Seals. Huay Nam Trong. James Allen Bowder. Jeffrey F. Braun. Trenton Lee Davis. Ricardo A. Del Villar. Jeffrey M. Kendig. Christopher S. Ritter. Chris. Andrew J. Hallman. Lori L. Singer. Nali Tron. Naida Ivelisa Serrano. Maribel Santiago. Susan Rodriguez. Catherine J. Proper. Wendy Lynn Menser. Christina M. Newport. Kelly Ann McGallagher. Serena L. London. Lois A. Nieder. Yamali Keith. George E. Master Georges. Linda L. Yate. Stephanie A. Tweed. Marlene Lynn Schutte. Jocelyn Torres. Hinti Pham. Emily B. Noble. Florencia T. Moore.
Rosa Mercado. Rosa Mercado.
Rosa Mercado. Marie S. McEldourney.
Kate Kellner.
Kate Kellner. Esther Alicia Fete. Teddy F. Sullivan. Amy Teresa Cloud. Itan S. Cook. Myra De Jesus. Catherine M. Fulmer. Serena A. Haskins. Erica K. Condren. Rebecca A. Garais. Deborah M. Gonzalez. Mary Hoskins. Anessa L. Johnson. Tara L. Keebler. Raymond Ulysses Lopez. Tracy R. Rotman. Melissa Ann Schauber. Robin M. Schisler. Janet Arizari. Andrea L. Johnston. Paige Marie Kaysen. Mona E. Coons. Gloria K. Mark. Mildred Rivera. Andrea S. Warner. Nancy L. Wattell. Crystal Michelle Fritsch. Carol A. Henry. Student Council President Kimberly C. Campbell. Shelby Lynn Cunningham. Wendy G. Gable. Camille D. Hammond. Rhea I. Kilsick. Sandra Lorraine Lawrence. Anna M. Millette. Marisol R. Negron. Sherry A. Rourke. Brian Scott Ekman. Vice President of the senior class, Stephen Anthony Santinello. Timothy C. Pickle. Nelson Morales. Harvey E. Milburn. David L. Messimer. Stephen J. Leibel. Roy Daniel Kurtz. Christopher O. Coder. Michael W. Brown. Nicole Boots. Jacqueline Lee Sell. Desiree D. Cole. Jennifer Lynn Miley. Melissa D. Perry. Gretchen Noel Redke. Lorianne M. Rao. Lisa A. Shelley. Margaret Elizabeth Tini. Denise E. Doherty. Cynthia L. Zimmerman. Beth A. Young. Ladies and gentlemen, our AFS exchange student from Germany, Sabina Bayer. Sabina has been the guest this year of Michael and Debbie McConley. She also will be serving this evening as a representative of all of our exchange students and has been selected to address you and share not only her feelings, but the feelings that all of our exchange students, I believe, have toward you and this school. I think first we'll present her with her diploma that she has well earned. Sabina Bayer.
Thank you, Mrs. Seifert. I'm Sabina Bayer from West Germany, and I have the honor tonight to represent all the exchange students, Martin Christensen, Chris Hyman, Micah Sheeler, Karen Mischke, and Blondine Field. First, I'd like to say that I'm not a good speaker like the others who worked hard, tried out, and were then chosen to represent the class of 1987. I'm just lucky enough to be an exchange student. When I applied to spend a year in the US with 2,000 other German students, I thought I would never make it. Out of those 2,000, 50 were chosen to be in a weekend, were invited to a weekend, and finally 4 were chosen to go. I still don't know why they took me and not somebody else, but I'm really glad they did. This year has been absolutely great for me. Besides being such a great host family as the McConleys are, I participated in so many activities at McCaskey, such as field hockey, AFS, and softball, and I've learned a lot. Out of school, I did so many things, although there's not much time. Before I came to the US, I thought I would have more time and more freedom over here, but I found exactly the opposite true. One has less time here because of a longer school day and less freedom because teachers are stricter and school rules are different. Jokes like placing a wet sponge under the teacher's seat so his behind gets wet, or placing 20 alarm clocks, having them ring at the same time would be impossible here. But I understand that. Otherwise, students and teachers would go crazy. What I liked especially about the school was the school spirit. Everybody supports sports teams or music groups and knows who won and what the score was. It is so encouraging to hear good job or congratulations because it makes you feel special. To be in a sports team helps to overcome language difficulties or homesickness at the beginning. And it's always nice to know that there's somebody there to help you. That far away from home, you learn to handle your own problems, if there are any, to make your own decisions, and you come to appreciate your parents a lot more. Besides that, you meet new people from different cultures, and you learn a new language easily, which is a great feeling. This is one great experience I'll never forget, and if I could repeat it, I would do that in exactly the same way I did. Now, when I go back to Germany in July, I have 2 more years of high school before I can go to physical therapy school. Tonight, this is just an honorary graduation for me, so. Now I'd like to thank Mr. Seifert, the faculty, and AFS for making this year so enjoyable as it was. Seniors, I wish all of you good luck in the future. Good luck whatever you do, and I hope to see some of you again someday. Thank you.
Carlos Montgomery. Omar M. Hammond. James H. Heiser II. Christopher Hyman, ladies and gentlemen, our 4th exchange student. Christopher also is representing the American Scandinavian Student Exchange Program from his country of Germany. He spent this year with Dr. John and Dolores Garais. Again, it has been our pleasure, Chris, to have you. Congratulations and best to you. Osvaldo E. Garcia. Richard D. Emanuel. Carlo E. Easton. Corey E. Burkhart. Russell L. Wickersham. Joseph J. Volopis. Eric A. Stone. Gregory Nicholas Steffish. Suzanne Mara Brown. Michael L. Showalter. David Allen Secker. Mark E. Rudder. Keith Patrick Rank. Mark L. Pennell. William E. Pappendick. Levon L. Gray. James Allen Funk. Larry L. Dumbach. Barry L. Heisey, Jr. Stephen J. Hanna. Robert J. Inshetsky. Ronald D. Reese. James W. DeBoard. Alfonso Suarez. Alexis Luis Cruz. George J. Kern II. Richard M. Marksell. Mark Edward Mitchell. Edward N. Torres. Patrick J. Turner. Philip P. Bafesis. John Matthew Hagelgans. Mark Randall Barley. Julia Louisa Abramson. Our student representative to the school board, David Burbank Brown. Jonathan Moore Bull. Leo G. Edmondson, Jr. Monique S. Artis. Pamela J. Armstrong. Andrea H. Starr. Amy M. Longenecker. Our senior class president, Michael E. Diller.
Members of the class of 1987, by the power vested in me as President of the Board of School Directors, and on behalf of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I hereby declare you graduates of the class of 1987 of the John Pearsall McCaskey High School, Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
It is time once again to pass on the symbol of tradition, the symbol being the torch of vitality, the tradition being the concept of closeness. Over the course of our 3 years here at McCaskey, we have persevered through times of joy and sadness, through times of achievement and failure. We, the individuals of the class of 1987, have overcome each obstacle that we have confronted to become the now honorable family that sits here beside me. After tonight, the once childhood dreams will have to be revised so that we can use what we have learned to achieve our most distant goals. It will take great courage and honesty to do so, but I am certain that the class of 1987 will succeed. Recently, as I was reading the book Awaken Alive by Mildred Newman and Bernard Berkowitz, I came across this passage that seemed particularly relevant to us this evening. Every life needs a direction, a purpose. Without goals, we drift uncomfortably. So at every stage in life, we must face making sense out of existence by making decisions about what is more important, what is less important, what is safe, what is frightening, what is satisfying, what is empty. It is not easy to let go of the outworn life dreams of childhood. Courage and uncompromising honesty with oneself make possible the moment of awakening. It is necessary to be aware of and to fight off the recurring temptation to go back to the familiar notions of the past. The passing of this torch concludes our status as McCaskey students. Before we become McCaskey graduates, I want to wish everyone in the class of 1987 the best of luck in whatever you do. Thank you for being you, and may all your dreams become reality. And now, Lisa, the passing of this torch signals the beginning of what I know will be an exciting senior year for the class of 1988. We, the class of 1987, wish you and your class the best of times.
Thank you. The passing of the torch acknowledges the new class of seniors, which are now the class of '88, or the 50th class to graduate from McCaskey. We, the class of '88, only hope we can have as many outstanding individuals as the class of '87 did. The class of '87 is a great class to follow, and it wouldn't be easy to follow in their footsteps, but we are going to make some very hard footsteps to follow also. To all the alumni, our class and the school district have planned special events for our 50th anniversary. I hope to see you all at the 50th year events and celebrations planned. And to the class of '87, may your tomorrow be filled with success. Thank you.
In the immortal words of the valedictorian speech in Funky Winkabing, you're out here now. I know that you've worked hard, and I know that also, whatever your faith, you've prayed many prayers, not only the class of '87, but the parents, friends, guardians, and teachers, that this moment might come. I want to offer you one more prayer, and I hope that you'll remember this prayer, for we have a world that desperately needs peace in the home, in the community, and among nations. It's the prayer of St. Francis of Assisi, Lord, make me an instrument of peace. Let us pray. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us plant love. Where there is injury, forgiveness. Where there is separation, union. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, let us plant joy. Grant, O Master, that we may not so much seek to be comforted as to comfort, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born again to eternal life. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Amen.